Good morning, everyone. It is Billy Joe from Shamanic She. For those of you who know me, know that I bring messages from the garden, from meditations, from different types of material that I find that I am growing myself from either reading or practicing, and just want to provide the same for anyone else who is interested. And during my meditation just now, I had been reminded of one that had occurred previously. One that was very personal, very profound, but that I had chosen to just keep for myself. I hadn't shared. I think different people individually have heard about the meditation, but I hadn't shared it openly, and think that it's important now to do that because it is an incredible message, and one that I think everyone should have the opportunity to hear and process and decide for themselves what they make of it, and what they take away from it, what resonates and works for them. And what I will share is, in a previous video, I had shared that I was in a church for 30 years, and it has only been the last 2 or so that I have since decided that structured religion is not something that worked for me. There were things that were happening that did not resonate anymore. Although what I will say is the very foundations of those teachings were what were knit to my heart. And those I still honor and live by. But I was having trouble reconciling a lot of why I had spent so long in that particular environment, in that religious organization. What did I believe? What didn't I believe? And for those of you who don't know, it was a very fundamental, very strong Christian, Bible thumping, as they say, gathering of individuals, and not just here where I live in New England, but around the globe. And in the whole of leaving, there was a lot of internal thoughts and turmoil and unrest and guilt and shame and all of the things that come with when you shift or leave religion, because there's a lot of that that's involved with religion in general. So for those couple of years, I really struggled with that, and I felt in my heart I knew what I did was right, but still wanted to have some clarity over knowing it 100%, wholehearted, no doubt. And so in a meditation, several times over, I would go in with an intention to enter into that space, or try to answer that, sense, that question, the thoughts around leaving, and come to a real full rest. And as I entered into the particular meditation, I don't know, maybe 6 months ago or so, 8 months ago, I found myself standing in, all of a sudden, this incredibly beautiful, white, milky floor. I'm standing and I'm recognizing all of a sudden this gorgeous sheen. And then it's all of a sudden columns of beautiful white crystals just encircling me, going around me. So I'm full of just white. Everywhere is white, gleaming with beauty and color and peace and love. And I thought, okay, split second, right? Because it's really just your mental thoughts are there. And then all of a sudden, in the center of it, Jesus appears. Full, white, bright, in what I imagine is my understanding of what Jesus would look like. And as he stood, I immediately was drawn and was enveloped just in a massive embrace. This feeling of incredible love, of incredible acceptance. And then I realized I wasn't just being embraced, I was enmeshed. I was melded together with him. I was one with him. And of course, everything is just thoughts. It's not you're speaking through your mouth, but it's thoughts. And these thoughts that came of, how then is this to be reconciled? How then can I know you and believe in you and yet leave the very thing where all that exists is him, supposedly, within this organization, this religious gathering of souls. And what came was something that gave me exactly what I asked for and I needed. Exactly what I was looking for from the time I left the church. Very clearly what came in words. I am what I have always been, just without the constraints of humanity. I am what I have always been, just without the constraints of humanity. I'll never forget it. It is something that is just burned into my memory, my remembrance. It will never go. It will never fade. And that is an incredible gift. In that moment, everything was released. Guilt, shame, any kind of feeling, sorrow, sadness, confusion, how I looked at what I was trying to understand, wrap my head around. What did I believe, even though I was no longer in the gathering of these souls in that Christian church. And what a release it was. A release of recognizing I am a spark of light. I am just as he. We all are. I am still connected, and probably more so than I had been before, because the constraints of humanity are gone. There are no longer any thoughts or ideas around how it's supposed to be or what the expectations are being in a gathering in a church. No more thoughts around how I lack, I don't fit in, this isn't where I belong, because I had been feeling that but didn't understand why if I was a person of faith. We are connected regardless of our faith. We are connected regardless of what religion. We are connected regardless of the color of our skin, where we live on the globe, who we are as a people by label. We are each a part of the whole. We, I think, will begin to become very strengthened when we recognize that connection more and more and honor it and work with it. That sacred heart energy, that small space within you that is incredibly blessed, charged with that spark. Remembering it, knowing it, honoring it. So whatever it is that you have for faith, for what you believe to be true for you, you don't need a person to validate that. You don't need a group of people, a religion. If it is within your heart and it is your truth, that's what carries you through this experience of being human. Hold on to that, live that, be that, the all that is, as much as you can every day. I hope this is helpful. I hope it is something that brings a light and a brightness to your experience living every day. And I will continue to share the things that come so lovingly and caring and thoughtful and perfect for us in our daily lives. And with that, I leave you and really, really have a hope for every single one of us as humanity, together as one, living, loving, accepting, being good and honoring one another. Have a blessed day. Namaste.